Hey everybody, it is Elizabeth here. I'm glad that you tuned in. I actually have been trying to change my style a little bit with putting different topics in my videos. Because today I had a health class and we talked about how when they process meat and they develop the cows, to get stronger and more healthier, they are actually putting antibiotics and types of penicillin into the meats. And not a lot of people know this. So, the thing that I thought you might think is interesting is if you have red meats or chicken in your freezer, it might not be a good idea to eat them the way you think you can eat them. Um, what can also actually make it a little bit easier, but doesn't change the fact that they put all of this antibiotics and types of steroids into the meat. Um, it would probably be better to eat organic foods. I don't have the article with me right now. I should have it by tomorrow, but it was actually very surprising to me. They actually believe that a lot of the meat and the steaks that we eat um, actually have the antibiotics and penicillin in it, and the steroids that they make to make the chickens bigger, like what they do with the KFC stuff. But I'm not going to overdo it because I don't want to get in trouble. But the thing is that a lot of the meat that we eat, actually, the stuff that they put into the cows and stuff, and the chickens and the pigs and stuff, actually gets into our system, which can cause weight gain. And the FDA has actually been doing a research on this, and you can actually find the information on I'm trying to think. It's like menzoda.com or something, but don't take my word for it. I will have the information by tomorrow, so I don't want to get too much into that. But if you research it yourselves and you look at, like, I think you could put in penicillin, cows and stuff. But you can Google it and you can actually find it. So, but I can't really support all of that theory right now because I'd have to actually have the article. So I'll have to get that from my teacher tomorrow. But that's something that I learned today. So I would be really careful on the meats and the processed stuff that you eat, because they put a lot of things that actually, because with the bacteria and stuff that the cows and the animals eat, they have to, when the animal gets sick, they have to give that the antibiotics and the penicillin just the same as they would give us. And it's actually not good for you, and it can cause excuse me, something on my face, some weight gain actually. But yeah, so if you look that up, you can actually find that. Today in the newspaper, on the nature calendar, today is the 25th, so we don't have that yet on here. But in February, there's a nature calendar inside the daily newspaper. Today, the date that I have on, yep, of course, is Wednesday, January 25th, 2012. And something that I read in the health and science part of the lifestyle part of the newspaper, it actually, the front of it says, "Women, you can prevent this cancer." And this article was written by Anne Gerard Flynn. She's a lifestyle editor for the health and science lifestyle section of the Republican. So I guess I can, oh, actually, I don't think I want to read this to you, but if you have the newspaper for the Republican or whatever newspaper you get in whatever part of the country or the world that you live in, I'm sure that it should be in the health and science lifestyle section of it. But it has to do with cervical cancer awareness month. So yeah, and there's actually a picture of Dr. Teddy Bachawati, an obstetrician and gynecologist at Holyoke Medical Center, holds a vaccine to prevent infections of the human papillomavirus that can cause cell changes that can lead to cancer of the cervix. So apparently, whatever the vaccine is, it can actually cause cell changes that can lead to cancer. So yeah, if you saw that, that might be interesting. If you want to read more of it online, it is www.cdc.gov/cancer/cervical/ and then that's it. But and then you can also go to www.nccc-online.org, and you can actually go to awareness.html. So it's on there. I'll also write it in the comment section of this video, so that's on there. Also, there's one that I actually can read, and it is also in the same section on the same page in the front of the newspaper, and it says study bone density test rethought for some. And it says, and this article is actually written by, I'm trying to see, I don't know why it doesn't say it on there. Probably written by the same people, but yeah, it's in the health and science lifestyle part, and it says study bone density test rethought for some. Bone loss and osteoporosis develop so slowly in most women whose bones test normal at age 65 that many can safely wait as long as 15 years before having a second bone density test, researchers report in a new study. Study published in the January 19th issue of the New England Journal of Medicine is part of a broad rethinking of how to diagnose and treat the potential debilitating bone disease that can lead to broken hips and collapsing of spines. A class of drugs I can't even read that word. It's biphosphonates, which includes Fosamax. So actually, that's funny that they say that, because me having been on dialysis and my prolactin level being so high, they actually have to put me on the same med, I think it's the same med, it's like a Zeplar or something, and it's funny because being on dialysis, it can actually take a lot of the fluid out of your bones, and actually people who are on dialysis and have renal failure are actually more prone to osteoporosis and brittle bone disease, so they put me on a medication where that can actually help, and they insert it into my dialysis machine. So that's actually pretty funny that we say that. So I'm supposed to be getting a bone density test, but I don't want to read the whole thing, but if you saw that in the newspaper, that's pretty interesting too, so I thought you might give you some facts on that. Another part of it says that Dr. Margaret Gourlay, the study's lead author and a family practice specialist and osteoporosis researcher at the University of North Carolina, said she and her colleagues were surprised by how slowly osteoporosis progressed in women. Medicare pays for a bone density test every 2 years, and many doctors have assumed that this is the ideal interval, although national guidelines say only that screening should be done at regular intervals. Now, there's a lot more to this article, so I don't want you guys to think that I'm trying to edit any of this, but it's actually very interesting. So they mentioned something about the National Institute of Arthritis and musculoskeletal and skin diseases. So that has to do with a lot. I think this basically the health and science lifestyle part of the newspaper actually has to, some things on the front to do with females. So if you're interested in that, I would definitely suggest to you young adults who don't read the newspaper as much to actually read the newspaper, because it actually you actually learn a lot, and I think every morning when I wake up and I go downstairs to go do my daily routine, I actually watch Good Morning America and the Today Show. And sometimes when I come home, I watch the 22 News because that, of course, that's in my area. So I would definitely suggest that you guys, watch a little bit more of the news for those who are old enough to understand it. Younger people, not so much. I would wait a couple more years until you watch the news and of course a lot of people are like, I don't watch the news because everything is so negative. Well, that's not really true. There's a lot of things that are positive on the news that, people do enjoy watching, and there's a lot of success stories. I mean, it is unfortunate that there are bad things that happen, but I'd say, watch the news a little bit more. You can actually learn a lot, and it actually can help you increase your vocabulary, too. So, but the other thing I'd like to get to, in the front of the newspaper of the Republican for Tuesday yesterday, there was a lot of things about the election for 2012. So, I think one of the things had to do with Massachusetts Governor Deval Patrick. And in the picture, it says Governor Deval Patrick delivers his State of the State address in the House chamber on Monday at the State House in Boston as Lieutenant Governor Timothy Murray Wright looks on. So it's just, I don't know if you can see the picture, but that's what I just saw. So I don't know if you guys heard anything about that yesterday for those who are into politics and stuff like that. Yeah, so let's see. I mean, we could do something a little bit more fun here. One of my favorite things that I love to do every morning when I look at the newspaper is, oh wow, that's the biggest Pez I've ever seen in my life. I'll have to read that in a second. Or I could do it in another video. Let's see. Where is it? I always try and look at... Oh, here we go. The horoscope. Now, if you guys don't know this, I am actually an Aries. So if you are born between March 21st and April 19th, your horoscope today says... Oh, and by the way, the horoscope in the newspaper for this is written by Bernice Bidet. And if I'm reading this wrong and you're watching this, I'm very sorry. Bernice Bidet Ossol. Her middle name is spelled B-E-D-E, and her last name is O-S-O-L. So, okay, so if you are an Aries and you are looking at the paper from yesterday, I probably should have pulled out the other one, but it says, you'll get your chance to finally meet a person whom you always wanted to know. Spoiler alert, this individual is exactly what you thought he or she would be like. So, in that one. So, yeah. And actually, for this month, if you are a person that is born in January, because today is the 25th, you are an Aquarius. If you didn't know that. If you already knew that, I'm going to read it anyway. Okay, so the Aquarius is, because of your deft management, situations that normally would be causing all kinds of problems will be easy to digest. You'll have the fortitude to handle everything well. So that's yours if you are born in January. And if today is your birthday, or if yesterday was your birthday, excuse me, January 24th, that is your horoscope for yesterday. Also, I probably should have really done this yesterday, but I just thought of the idea today, so excuse me if it's kind of lame. But, okay, so this is called the Almanac, and yesterday in history, it starts by saying that today is Tuesday, January 24th, even though today is Wednesday, is the 24th day of 2012 and the 34th day of winter. So today would be the 35th day of winter and the 25th day of 2012. Excuse me, my computer screen turned off for a minute. Okay, so yesterday's history. In 1848, gold was discovered at Sutter's Mill, setting off the California Gold Rush. In 1995, the O.J. Simpson murder trial began as the prosecution made its opening statement. In 2003, former Pennsylvania Governor Tom Ridge was sworn in as the first Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. And yesterday's birthdays, now some of these people have passed away, of course, but it's always cool to know whose birthday it was. And if you don't know who these people are, I suggest that you Google it. Okay, so yesterday's birthdays was Pierre de Beaumarchais. You guys are probably laughing because I have awful pronunciation, and if I hear it, I'd probably pronounce it a lot better. So anyway, 1732 to 1799. Playwright Edith Wharton was her birthday, and she was born 1862 and passed away in 1937. And she was a novelist, and okay, so Pierre was a playwriter, and Edith Wharton is a novelist. Robert Motherwell is an artist, and that was his birthday. Oral Roberts, who's an evangelist, is his birthday. Neil Diamond is a singer and songwriter and is still alive. He was born in 1941, so happy birthday yesterday. John Belushi, he's an actor, and he was born in 1949 and passed away in 1982, so rest in peace. And happy birthday yesterday. Okay, so John Belushi is an actor. Nastasia Kinski, she's born in 1961 and she's an actress, so happy birthday yesterday. And Mary Lou Retton, she was born in 1968 and she's an Olympic gymnast. Ed Helms, born 1974 and he's an actor. And I think you all know who this person is. She played in the OC, and I think that's the only thing I've seen her in, actually. So if you guys know of any other movies that she's in or TV shows, her birthday was yesterday, and she was born in 1986. So happy birthday, Misha Barton. You are actually one of my other favorite actors from that TV show. And it's kind of sad because I really wish they would do another OC for with new people or something, because I would really love that, and I absolutely love that show. I used to have the whole season, and I gave it to my foster sister because I watched the whole thing. So, and I was kind of sad because the ending was like, that's it, nothing else. But yeah, and anyway, Benjamin Bradley is actually one of my old crushes for actors. I absolutely loved him. Did a very good job playing Ryan, and there's another show he's on. It's called Southland Blue, something like that. But yeah, he's in a police officer show, which is probably one of the craziest shows I've ever seen in my life. So sometimes it gets really intense where I just turn it off. But yeah, so let's see what else. I think that's it for everything that's interesting. Oh, yesterday's sports in history. 1980, Fred Wilpon and Nelson Doubleday bought the New York Mets for an estimated amount of $21.1 million, at the time the most ever paid for a baseball franchise. So that happened in today's sports of 1980. Also, today's fact, yesterday's fact was since 2007, China has produced more gold than any other country. And yesterday's quote was, "Songs are life in 80 words or less." And the person that said that was Neil Diamond. So, and let's see, what else? Yesterday's number was 2,558, Barry Bonds' record number of career walks, more than Hank Aaron, because Hank Aaron had 1,402, and Babe Ruth also, and Babe Ruth's number was 2,062. So yesterday's moon, if you were looking outside at night, was between the new moon, which was January 23rd, and first quarter, which was January 30th. So, and I think that's pretty much it. Now, I don't know if you guys can answer my question, but I never quite understand this in the newspaper when I look at it. And it's called a bridge. And yesterday's bridge was written by Philip Alder from the Sunday Republican, or the Weekly Republican, or the Republican as they call it. So this one is bridge, and it says, Harry S. Truman said, "When you get to be president, there are the honors, the 21 gun salutes, all those things. You have to remember it isn't for you, it's for the presidency. When you get to be declared, there are all those things, the honor cards. You have to remember they aren't for you. They are for the contract. In this 3 no Trump, what should South do after West leads his fourth highest heart? South's 2 no Trump rebid shows more than a 1 no Trump opening in less than a 2 no Trump opening. This equates to a good 17, 18, or 19, or a poor 20 points. Its principle it is forcing to game. Also, unlike a claim by one of my colleagues, South's bid does not deny a 4-card major. Here, South could even... Okay, so basically, I don't really understand this. It's called a bridge, and it's always on the back where you have your crossword puzzles and stuff. So if you guys can answer that question, I have no clue what a bridge is. Maybe it's like when you go and gamble or something and you do and use this for like your lucky card estimate or something. I've never quite understood it. But yeah, so I think that's pretty interesting. And I always look at this side of the paper now. On the weekend, I usually look at the funnies and stuff, but it's hard to read funnies on the internet, and people aren't looking at the funnies, so yeah. But anyway, that's pretty much it. Yeah, so basically what I had said in the beginning about... Ooh, wow, I went over. Alright, well, thank you for watching, and hopefully you will visit my channel more often, and I'll try and do some more current events and stuff from the newspaper. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.